Good evening, Arlington Public Schools community members and parents. We're so excited to have you here with us this evening for Montessori Information Night. Hi, I'm Katharina Genovi, and I am the proud principal of Montessori Public School of Arlington. Montessori is based on the work of Dr. Maria Montessori. So we'd like to start off the evening with this quote from her. A felicitous environment that guides the children and offers them the means to exercise their own faculties permits the teacher to absent herself temporarily. The creation of such an environment is already the realization of great progress. Maria Montessori. So Montessori was an Italian physician, educator, and innovator. She's acclaimed for her educational method that builds on the way children learn naturally. Maria designed learning materials in a classroom environment that fostered the children's natural desire to learn and provided freedom for them to choose their own materials. The children in Maria's programs thrived, exhibiting concentration, attention, and spontaneous self-discipline. By 1910, Montessori schools could be found throughout Western Europe and were being established around the world, including in the United States, where the first Montessori school opened in Tarrytown, New Jersey in 1911. What is the Montessori method of education? Montessori is a method of education that is based on self-directed activity, hands-on learning, and collaborative play. In Montessori classrooms, children make creative choices in their learning, while the classroom and the highly trained teachers offer age-appropriate activities to guide the process. Children work in groups and individually to discover and explore knowledge of the world and to develop their maximum potential. This video is going to give you a glimpse into a Montessori classroom, starting in the primary grade, moving into lower elementary, and then ending with our upper elementary classrooms at 5th grade. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, my name is Brittany. I'm a 5th grader, and I've been in the Montessori program since I was 3 years old. I've learned a lot since then, and I had a lot of fun doing it. It all started out in a primary classroom. Come take a look. A primary classroom has children ages 3, 4, and 5. Basically, it's preschool and kindergarten all together. That's great because the students get a chance to help each other learn. Of course, there is a Montessori teacher with special Montessori training to show the students what to do. There is even an assistant in the class all day to help out. Montessori kids get right to work. As you can see, there's plenty to choose from. The projects are all on low shelves, so the students can pick out work on their own. Teachers give lessons on each material before students can use them. A teacher can give a lesson to just one student, a small group of students, or the whole classroom. After that, they can practice alone, work with a friend, or get help from an older student until they master the challenging work. The younger students love watching and learning from the older students, and the older students love being the classroom leaders. Helping the younger students helps the older students understand the lesson even better. It works so well because students build a community. They stay in the same class for 3 years, working with the same teacher. The teacher keeps track of all the work. And when a student masters the work, it's time for the next lesson and another exciting challenge to master. The material is fun to use, so it's easy to get motivated to learn. This 3-year-old student is working in the practical life area. That's where you wash, pour, polish, and do other activities. They help develop concentration, independence, order, fine and gross motor skills. Dr. Maria Montessori, who developed Montessori education, found these skills help get a student ready for reading and writing. Students also learn the ABCs of reading and writing. Really, it's not the letter names that are as important as the sounds.
Can you put up here?
But here, right?
Okay.
Check out the sandpaper letters. Students trace the letters made of sandpaper over and over. They can feel the lines the letters make, and that helps them remember how to write the letters when they are ready to try it.
What sound do we hear first in box?
Too old.
B.
B.
Materials like the movable alphabet help students write, even before they can read. And when they are ready, children are encouraged to read and write stories often.
Put it right down here. Box. Box. What's the last sound?
Montessori math is especially fun. There are plenty of materials Dr. Maria Montessori developed to keep young kids interested. This is the golden bead chain. We use this to understand a lot of important math concepts. This student is working on the 4-bead chain. He lays out the beads side by side and counts them as he goes. Then he places a little flag by each bead set. First, the 4 flag, then the 8 flag, and so on and so on.
13, 14, 15, 16.
He doesn't know it now, but he's learning his times table before finishing kindergarten. The beads help Montessori children understand even more advanced math concepts, like square roots. Montessori education also stresses learning about the world we live in. That's why there are puzzles of the United States and the continents in primary classroom, and lessons about different cultures.
Your turn. No, Will, you pick it. Yeah, but then this time you glue. Okay, let's take turns gluing. No, I don't want to glue. Yes, you have to. No fair. It's totally fair. Okay. I had to glue all of this, and you didn't even get the glue. So it's totally fair.
Science materials are fun too. Students use them to learn more about the natural world around them. This student is identifying parts of the tree. All these activities can go on at the same time in a Montessori classroom. As you can see, students move around a lot to get the job done. During that time, the students learn concentration, motivation, self-discipline, and a love of learning.
Woo! They're pretty busy in that primary classroom. Let's see what happens when a primary student moves up to lower elementary.
All that excitement and concentration in a primary classroom sets the stage for a challenging lower elementary classroom. First, second, and third graders take on Arlington's demanding curriculum in a Montessori way. In the multi-age classroom, it's easy for a student to advance when they are ready. The teacher follows 100-year-old Montessori lessons and makes sure the students learn everything Arlington students are supposed to know, but does it in a way that makes us all want to learn.
And 2 units together and see what you get?
That's because Dr. Maria Montessori developed a teaching style that encourages students to use some of our best kid qualities in the classroom.
5, 6, 7, 10.
She observed that students between 6 and 12 years old are developing their own independence, want to use their imagination, are very social, are looking for a sense of justice, and are ready to transform concrete materials to abstract ideas.
11, 12, 13.
In math, students start to write down all those incredible things that they have learned with the hands-on math materials. Of course, there's addition and subtraction, multiplication, long division, and even geometry. Whatever you're ready for, the teacher can give you a lesson because she's keeping track of how each child is doing. The students in all Montessori classrooms work in a 3-hour uninterrupted work block. That gives them a chance to go in depth and do extended research in areas that interest them.
What color do you want to use for I would this like part? to use For this red. Well, I mean, okay, you can say. Because red's my favorite color. All right, start with this little piece.
You may even see a first grader working with a third grader. Here they are exploring ancient civilizations, creating mummies to learn about Egyptian
These are the
burials.
4 basic canopy jars. they didn't have people. They only had certain animals on them. They have 4 chamber cards.
In a Montessori classroom, reading and writing are connected. Kids write about what they are learning. There are plenty of hands-on materials to teach grammar, sentence structure, and vocabulary. Students are encouraged to write in cursive as soon as they enter lower elementary.
Now let's check out my upper elementary classroom.
In an upper elementary classroom, the 4th and 5th graders take on even more responsibility to cover the challenging work. Students still use Montessori materials to cover the curriculum. This river model helps us learn about erosion, delta formation, and even the parts of a river. One way we learn about Virginia geography and history.
Path of the mountain. This is the delta, the triangle that's being formed.
The bridge is going to fall.
Yeah. This work, building mountains out of clay, helps us understand topography too. The timeline of life first looked at in the primary classroom gives students a chance to learn more about the living things of the past and present. We use the pin map to point out locations of countries, cities, landforms, and bodies of water for entire continents. This builds on the continent puzzles from the primary classroom. In math, we use racks and soups to master long division, which we can pull off on paper too. The pegboard shows squaring and square root.
Okay, I was supposed to look out to see if the ape house was close, and it doesn't seem like it's really close because it's talking about how good it's running.
More elaborate research leads to sophisticated research papers. We even go outside the classroom to get more information through field trips. We call them going outs.
Gift shop and stuff is last, okay? But first we're gonna check on the cheetahs for Princia.
Yeah, right. And then you go to elephants.
Where's elephant? Elephant's right here. In the elephant house.
Yeah.
We plan everything from choosing the location, transportation, figuring out the cost, and the permission slips. Then we bring in adults to chaperone. Several of us are planning a trip to the National Zoo to study primates, cheetahs, and elephants. In an upper elementary Montessori classroom, follow-up work can combine several subjects. By making bread, we're working on measurement and observing science in action as yeast makes dough rise. In the end, this project helps us build our peaceful Montessori community.
I hope you like our Arlington Montessori program. After 8 years of experience, I think I can do just about anything.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yolanda Nasheed, the Assistant Principal of Montessori Public School of Arlington. I'd like to tell you about our primary Montessori program at the Montessori Public School of Arlington. The Montessori primary years is a continuum of 3 years. We have multi-age grouping where our children are housed for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds all together. At the Arlington Public Schools, our Montessoris are across our region. We have 16 primary classes at 7 elementary schools. We have 9 lower elementary and 4 upper elementary at the Montessori Public School of Arlington. And we have 4 middle year classes at Gunston Middle School. Our schedule consists of a full day program during the regular school hours. We do follow the APS school calendar. Our 3-year-olds are phased in during the month of September. Extended day is available for children who are 4 years older above at all schools. At the Montessori Public School of Arlington, our elementary program is consisted of pre-K 3-year-olds to 5th grade. We have 7 primary Montessori classrooms, ages 3 to kindergarten. We have 9 lower elementary Montessori program, which consists of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, as well as 4 upper elementary Montessori classrooms, which consist of 4th and 5th graders. We also have a middle school program, which is located at Gunston Montessori. It has grades 6th through 8th grade, and there are 4 middle school classrooms located there.
My name is Elaine Perkins. I'm the Early Childhood Coordinator for Arlington Public Schools. Thank you, Ms. Nasheed. In addition to the classrooms that we have at Montessori Public School, we also have satellite locations where we have 1 to 3 classrooms at those sites. So those sites include Barrett Elementary Schools, Garland Springs, Discovery, Fleet, Jamestown, and Oak Ridge. You'll see here, these are feeder locations for the different satellite locations. So as you apply for our program, you can actually apply to 2 locations, Montessori Public School of Arlington and one of the satellite locations that feeds your local elementary school. The program does assess fees along a sliding fee scale, and this slide really talks a little bit about that. So all 3-year-olds do pay for our Montessori program. Again, it's along a sliding fee scale based on your income. For 4-year-olds, the program is free if you are at 80% of the median in Arlington County, which is currently $103,200 per year for a family of 4. And there are no fees assessed in the kindergarten year, as it is the kindergarten year across Arlington Public Schools. In terms of eligibility, parents and guardians must reside in Arlington, and children must be 3-year-olds on or before September 30th, and children must be toilet trained at the time of entry. We have lots of toilet training resources that are available on our early childhood webpage.
Hi, good evening. My name is Corina Coronel, and I am the coordinator at the Welcome Center, Language Services Registration Center. Thank you, Elaine. So the application process for the Montessori program is centralized. So all families who are interested in applying for Montessori education will have to use the online portal that is available on the website. Families may apply to the Montessori Public School of Arlington and to the primary Montessori satellite program that they are eligible for. Families need to upload at the time of the application their child's birth certificate and proof of identity of the parent or guardian. Please understand that this is the application part of the process, not registration. Once the application window closes, we will have a lottery, and families that are offered a seat in one of the programs then will proceed with registration. So the application timeline starts February 1st and ends April 15th. It starts February 1st at 4 o'clock and ends April 15th at 4 o'clock. Applications that are received within this application window will all participate in the lottery. If you miss the deadline by any reason, we will reopen the portal later on, and late applicants could add their name to the wait list. When you apply, if you have twins or multiples, you will submit 2 applications, and although they will be admitted as 2 students, they will be treated as 1, which means that if one of the students gets offered a seat, the brother or sister will also get offered a seat. They will always go in together. Younger siblings or students that are currently enrolled in the program, either a satellite location or the Montessori Public School of Arlington, will receive priority in the lottery. So if there are more spaces, then more applications than spaces available, we'll definitely have a lottery. The lottery is a double-blind lottery, which means that we will assign numbers to the students twice, and we have no idea who the students are. We can see their names. And we will divide the students into 2 different buckets. 2/3 of the seats will be reserved for families that have an income at or below the $103,200 And 1/3 of the seats will be reserved, and we will have a lottery for the families that are above that income. Our timeline for the entire process is published on our website, but the application window will close on April 15th at 4 o'clock, and then we will get ready for the lottery, which will be on for elementary, April 22nd, for primary, April 25th. Families will receive a notification whether they will be offered a seat or have been waitlisted on April 29th, and they will need to make a decision by May 13th. Transportation. Students, including 3-year-olds, will be eligible for transportation if they have received an offer in a seat at Montessori Public School of Arlington, since it is a county-wide program. So for the elementary Montessori lottery, there are different priorities. So first of all, the students that are already enrolled in Montessori will basically be rolled over to the next grade level. Then preference will be given to the younger sibling of a concurrently enrolled student. And then the next priority will be given to any student that has completed a primary Montessori program at one of the satellite locations. And then preference will be given to the rest of the students who apply. Next. And now I am going to turn it over back again to Mr. Nobi.
So I also want to invite all of you to attend the Montessori Public School of Arlington School Information Session. That will be held on Thursday, March 10th from 6 to 7 p.m. It will be a live virtual event. If you have any questions, you feel free to contact the MPSA office at the number listed here. You can also contact the APS Welcome Center, and you can also find all of the information you need on the website listed below. Please feel free to learn more about Montessori and MPSA by following Early Childhood or us on Twitter. Here are some other ways you can learn more about what we're doing in Arlington Public Schools and all of the contact information. Thank you so much for joining us this evening and coming to learn all about the Montessori Public School of Arlington and Montessori in Arlington Public Schools.